Still like this intro.
It's still good.
Editing.
Yay!
The thing I got a degree in, kind of, sort of.
Yay! I don't have a degree.
Degrees don't matter. Everything's made up and the degrees don't matter. Sabotage, this is Jeff.
This is David.
Hi, David. Let's play Monster Hunter.
Yeah! More
We got a
Monster Hunter,
login.
yay!
We got a login bonus. I got a whole bunch of lucky vouchers. I think that probably has to do with like release week stuff and like Steam shenanigans and like, hey, welcome to Monster Hunter. But either way, lots of lucky vouchers. Might actually use one or two. We are going to talk to a few people. Like I said, there's a lot of exclamation points on the map, so we can start by learning about Chief Ecologist.
Yes.
This is the guy that will officially update your knowledge on monsters, which is another thing that's new for Monster Hunter World, because usually you go to a wiki guide.
Right. That was one of those things that I was like, oh, right, this must have been in like Monster Hunter Tri-Ultimate or something, right? It was like, no,
You'd
this is the
think
first
so.
one.
So there we go. We have as we fight them more and we have the scout files learn more about them, the information will fill out for these. So like for the Great Jagras, we actually know we know enough about it now that we don't have like max level, like it'll give you star levels like up to 3 stars for like the Great Jagras as an example. For like learning, here's the biologist. He's the one that we'll be getting most of the capture quests from.
Right. And this
So
is where
he
he says, yep, you will be commended for it and receive greater rewards. Commission rules. So it's essentially like, hey, we wouldn't give you more rewards, but the commission demands it. So...
He doesn't have a side quest post right now, but that's what it will be for.
Right.
This is the resource center.
Oh, you are too good to me.
The provisions manager is great and has a very pleasant accent.
Yes.
Very sad that there's not more voice acting for her. But
Right.
that is okay.
I mean, there's literally only one character in this game where I don't like the voice actor. So
Okay.
I wish all of them were significantly more voiced. I should say, it's not that I dislike the voice actor, I dislike the voice. Anyway, what is she asking us to do?
Don't
Build
let me
camps?
down.
Yeah. So for this first little part of the game, we're going to be, mentioned in the last episode, we're going to be securing a camp in the ancient forest, do some research. We have to actually find a campsite and then, actually build a camp there. Well, the provisions manager and like her team is going to do the actual building, but it's our job to scout and, make sure it's safe and also get raw materials that they need. The resource center we will be going back we talking to them all the time.
Yeah.
See if Nier has anything to say.
Right.
Which I assume that is the commander's name is just Nier.
Yes. So the provisions officer, the resource center, like the thing you just saw him do is collect the bounties, which are like complete these tasks, get probably an armor sphere and a bunch of resource points.
Yep. It's a little bite-sized, mini, tiny quests. Like, go get 4 honey, and then you turn it in, and you're like, oh, sweet. Here's some research points, and like you said, an armor sphere. Armor sphere you can use to upgrade armor, which we will be doing. It doesn't matter as much in the beginning because you're usually going to be just making new armor, but because you get so many different armor spheres, there's no reason not to just use it on armor that you like or that you're frequently using. Like, we'll be using the bone pretty frequently, so a few of those pieces will probably get some armor bonuses put into them. Each armor level, generally speaking, will give you +2 defense to each part. We're going to be doing a little inventory management, so let's cut that out.
Did you just dump a lot of
I'm gonna
stuff
make
into your
a support
box?
set, a little support set for the items. No, I was selling a bunch of things. Support us on Patreon. We're going to be using a sword and shield for this quest. This next quest.
I like the sword and shield a lot.
I do like the sword. Look, I like all the weapons except the heavy gun, which is fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I got it covered. You don't have to worry.
That's fine. I won't worry about that one. Sword and shield has so much. Like, we used hammer last time. It's not the last time we'll see the hammer. Of
course.
Like the hammer.
Right.
But it's time to just, let the sword and shield shine a little bit.
Right. Did you upgrade the sword and shield, or just leave it at level 1?
Just upgrade or just leave it at once. I'm pretty sure because I was not paying attention right now because I was talking about Sword and Shield rather than watching the video. I'm pretty sure I upgraded once. Well, either way.
Maybe not. We'll see.
This Sword and Shield, we're going to eventually the path that I want to take down the Sword and Shield is eventually we're going to be getting a good paralyzing Sword and Shield.
Right.
Can't quite get there yet, but that's the goal.
So this is the expedition. So expedition is you can just wander around the map as much as you want. The monsters will be there. They'll leave eventually, but there's not a quest timer. There's no time limit. You just wander around, collect items. There's little side quests you can do in every area. There are several researchers you can find that'll do things like, complete quests to get you new ingredients or more resources, or you'll get to meet little Grimalkines and do really adorable side quests, and it's great.
All the Grimalkine or Grimalkins.
Grimalkine's probably how you say it.
I don't remember. All of the side quests are done from expeditions. We'll be doing each major area of the game has its own tribe you can do a side quest for.
Right.
We don't have to. I don't think we'll actually get to that here, but we can talk to our first field researcher because these guys are just out in the field. This is the fisherman, the Piscine researcher.
You've got Linian, you've got Piscine, you've got wildlife.
I like his hat. Yeah, it's endemic life.
Life. He does have a nice hat.
Too.
You don't get to keep. You don't get to get that hat, do you?
You don't want to get that hat unless you use the transmog mod that's been on Steam for a while.
What?
I didn't say anything.
You didn't say anything.
I don't know what you're talking about. But I'm just saying that there is an example of a humanoid character model in the game that does have that hat on. So, who knows?
Right. So you're gonna fish.
I'm gonna do some fishing,
which is actually kind of fun in this game.
It is kind of fun and relaxing. It's also very Japanese. You always have to have a fishing mini game.
Yeah.
It's I've also been playing a lot of East 8, and as from the video we put out on that, there's fishing in that too. The fishing in this game is pretty straightforward. It's just wait until the large bite, and then for the most part it's automatic. There is I was going to try and congratulate him with his catch, but I can't emote when I have the pole out, so just pretend that I'm
nodding.
Good job, guy. Good job. You did it.
He caught a fish that is far bigger than any fish that are actually in that pond.
The fish are, well, actually, I guess I don't know if they magically warp in for him, but the ones that you catch, you can see.
Right, his magically warps in because it's way bigger.
His might be just the special inside. I was like, where's the? Okay, yeah, you can kind of see a little bit of them. There are a few of the larger fish that will be, a little bit more of a mini game of tap and then hold this direction and tap this other direction.
Or you can just do this. Hey, you got 3 fish. No, you got 2 fish. A fish, a scale, and a fish.
Yeah. The sushi fish scale is used for, I think this is the one that it's for healing bleeding effect.
Yeah, that's what the description said.
Which we don't have to worry about that right now. But I'm also not. It's a status effect that isn't in the game enough to, I feel like, justify its own specialized item loadout or something.
Right. It's
super
annoying.
It's something you can do. It is annoying, but there are ways you can kind of get around it.
Right.
But it's just good to know. That is the thing that will heal bleeding if you're interested in doing that.
Right.
Sword and Shield is great. Oh. I was 1 frame away from getting away with that dodge.
Right, and looking super stylish. But as it was, you did pretty good.
The Sword and Shield, which is unusual if you think about it, but it's right-handed shield, left-handed sword.
Mm-hmm. So it's
same thing
Legend
with
of Zelda.
Yeah, it's sort of a Legend of Zelda thing. I've heard that the reasoning for that is that the shields are sort of the focus, to be defensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with the lance. You'll have shield in right hand. Same thing with the charge blade. You'll have shield in right hand. Gun lance too, of course.
Did you just miss those revolters twice?
I did a little bit. That's fine. Don't worry about it. We're talking about Sword and Shield, David. The Sword and Shield has a bunch of fast combos and infinite combos as well, because you can redirect, which is a new thing for this game. I'm checking on these are the bounties. That I'm just
Right.
like, okay.
That's why you
get a
killed
few
all
of
those
these ones.
Jagras.
I was like, oh, I can actually probably finish those bounties during
All
this
of them,
expedition.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
the
the
other
Sword and
thing.
Shield has infinite combos. You can change direction mid-combo, which is new for this game and is great. So you can, if you press like back and then the attack button, you'll do a backwards slice and then you'll switch to start, hitting backwards.
Right.
Your B button or your circle button attacks are going to be shield bashes. They can do knockout damage like the hammer does, not quite as efficiently. And you can also do a charging back step, which can launch you up into the air, and you can use the much higher damaging shield drop, which is awesome and does 2 hits, or you can do the sort of sword drop,
Which is
will
mounting
do
damage.
mounting damage, so you can get mounts off of that.
Right. Oh, some things I want to say real quick about bounties. If you have 2 of the same bounty, like gather bones 15 times, gather bones 12 times, if you every time you gather, it applies to both of
You
them.
can assign a
So you don't have to
target
do
destination
27
for your
total. You still
scout
just
flag
have to
on
do
the map.
15 in that case.
Exactly, and if you know that you're going to be out and doing gathering, it is pretty wise to stack those up. Like I'm doing bounties all the time, and generally speaking, it's either am I going to be doing fights or am I going to be doing gathering, and they're color coded. It's pretty fun to just have another. It's just a checkbox, a nice little list that completes, and you get little rewards from it. Yeah,
Right. And stuff you'd be doing anyway,
Yeah.
for most part. Kitty art.
Ooh, we got a little doodles. Doodles. The doodles indicates Grimalkin or Grimalkin tribe.
Right.
So we'll need to find those in order to do the Grimalkin side quest. We'll just get them as we go along.
Which leads to the thing I was going to say. You do the doodles, or you pick up tracks. You do the tracks specifically for the larger monsters, because it starts where, okay, it'll help you find the next track, but once you get up to a high enough level, you'll just come into the area and then know exactly where the monster is. So you don't have to search for it at all. It's just like, oh, it's there.
And the higher level of scout flies, it takes forever. So
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten max level on a scout fly for any of the monsters, even in like the like 300 hours I put into the PS4 version. It just didn't happen.
Right.
Which is fine. You don't need that. It gets to the point where you can get one track and you know where they are, but also it gets to the point where you know where they are anyways.
Right. So you don't even need that one track.
It's like the Jagras' nest is in the center, and he goes and he feeds on Kestodons in the south.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that's where he's going to be. So
All right. I see an exclamation point. Is that the endemic life researcher?
that is the endemic life researcher.
Oh.
This episode is all about the expedition experience. For the most part, we won't do expeditions unless it's story forced. It's really more of just go out and gather. Well, I'll do videos specifically for the side quests you can do for like the Grimalkins or Grimalkins. Maybe one day I'll decide which one I want to say.
I like
Maybe-
Grimalkins more, but
Grimalkins. Okay, so the Grimalkin quests, we'll definitely cover those. But this is sort of like this is what you do on an expedition. It's generally speaking, it's better to go out on a quest and then just kind of gather as you go, because then you'll get quest rewards and you'll sort of you'll double up on things.
right. All those
But, like,
account
especially
items,
for, like-
all those account items you're getting, by
Big
the way,
ones.
are for ingredients essentially.
That's true. Yes. Each of those, like the mushrooms, you can get a special mushroom and then you can add it to the canteen. Is the endemic life researcher. She's very excitable.
Yes.
Very enthusiastic about little things. I'm going to say that the expedition is very useful, at least for like my brother said that was very useful, having never played a Monster Hunter game and it ending up not being into it, but it was very nice to just be, okay, I can wander around and then just do stuff, explore.
Right.
Rather than have like this time limit, which is just a Monster Hunter thing that you probably should just get rid of.
Right.
It's an arbitrary, it's a rather arbitrary limit.
Right.
There can be story reasons, like it's like, oh, this thing will leave, and then we'll never be able to find it again. Sure, that could be a timed mission, but just like everything being timed, it's weird. Especially
Right.
since you can just follow them for the most part in this game. But I digress.
Except
Endemic life
for
research is super
certain
into
things you can do
creep
that have
crawlers.
shortened time limits, and those are sometimes
That's
a
true.
challenge.
So it is more of a mechanical thing where things will have shorter time limits so that you can get higher rewards out of them, which that's fine. I get it. It's gamey, but it is a video game, so that's
Hey,
the video game part. Got a little woodland Terex.
and you don't turn that into her; you turn it into the resource center.
But there's a nice. She does at least acknowledge that you've caught one for her. And she was like, "Oh, sweet, that's nice. Make sure you report that to the resource. We're going to ignore that, Anjanath."
Yeah, don't try fighting the Anjanath at this point. You're not up to it.
Let's just kind of smooth along. Now, the field team researcher wants us to go climb those vines, but I want to make sure to get some thunderbugs, which I happen to know are up here on this branch, and there's 2 more on the next branch. So we'll get those first.
Yeah.
Thunderbugs we can combine with trap tools to make paralysis traps, so very useful.
Very, very useful. They are... Luckily, it's only 1 thunderbug plus a trap tool. It's not like 3 or whatever, so it's not
nothing ridiculous like
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to get Scatternut, because on the northern side of the map here, there's Scatternut on the vines.
It's good for staggering monsters.
I'll be making very good use of Scatternuts.
Right. As we said in the beginner's guide, it's a guaranteed stagger.
It is a guaranteed stun, and the sword and shield can use the slinger when it has the weapon out.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to fully experience the joys of the sword and shield, you have to take into account that you can get to some items faster than you can for other weapons.
Right. That's the trade-off.
I'm also interested in getting... the capture. Well, there's some butterflies there. If you're wondering if the capture net can be used to capture Vespoids, the answer is no.
No.
They're considered small monsters, but it will do like 1 or 2 damage to them.
Yeah.
So you can eventually kill them with that. Vespoids are a little weird in that if you do too much damage, they'll explode. So if you do just enough damage, they'll leave a body behind, and you can like carve them for carapace and wings and stuff and so forth. So actually what you want to do in that case, there's an entomology skill that will allow you to have corpses of bugs more frequently, but that doesn't mean that they will randomly explode or not. Well, it does mean that they'll randomly explode or not, but that doesn't mean that if you do small damage, it will guarantee that you'll have a corpse left behind, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So like a Scatternut is enough to just kill them, or like 1 or 2 red pit even. We'll just do it.
I didn't realize you could capture the Vigor Wasp.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
Anything that's not a small monster, if it's floating around, you can probably just throw your caption at it. You never know. We get some of those auger flies too.
How many hours do I have in this game?
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say there are rare species of all of the endemic life, including fish.
Right.
So there will be like a great pink praxis, which will just be much bigger. Which counts is if you're going for completion for that kind of thing, it'll count for that. And same thing with like vigor wasps. All those things will have like a rare, different colored or big version.
Right.
We're gonna watch this fantastic cutscene.
It's a good cutscene.
The comedic timing of like,
It's the eyes took in the information, it traveled as fast as it could to the brain, and then the brain sent the reaction command out to the body.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Good old Kulugaku.
Yeah. An annoying monster to fight, but a really funny one.
It is also a reason why I'm using Sword and Shield. Is a bird wyvern, which is a subtype. The Great Jaguars was a fang wyvern. This one is a bird wyvern, which is like a bird, I guess.
And switch to the world map.
Yeah.
Then select
Sure.
a stair.
Yeah. Yep.
That makes sense. It tracks. Mm-hmm. I can then pick up what they're putting down, kind of situation. Also, when you're in expedition mode, I think also when you're not in expedition mode, but you can kind of see it on the map, but there are the little resource points will fill back in with color, and that represents them respawning. So
Right.
if you pick one up, it'll kind of gray out a little bit, and then it'll recharge the color from like the bottom to the top, and then you'll be able to collect them again. This way you can like do routes if you know, especially since expeditions can go on as long as you want, they'll just naturally respawn kind of thing.
And then you can
I do want smoke nuts though.
Yeah, you can fly back to the base, drop everything off, and do it again.
Yep. We'll be making Farcasters out of the smoke nut, but first let's be very mean to this poor chicken.
Yes.
There's the highest damaging attack is the backstep into falling shield bash.
Right.
There's that scatter nut.
Ooh. It's like it's a guaranteed
I wanted
stagger.
just.
You got the first hit.
That's true. Now, if that first hit had been like a knockout, it would have been so cinematic.
Right. Oh well.
The Kuluyaku has a lot of forward-facing attacks. He doesn't have a lot of motion on the sides, which I'm kind of coming into the sides. And his gimmick here is that he'll pull a rock out and use it as a shield and try and beat you with it. But you know what? Interesting fact. Well, you know, we'll see how you can best deal with it. I will at least give him a little bit of a shot. So he's holding it like a little shield. It's adorable.
Yeah.
But there's a few ways you can get rid of it. One way is to jump on his back with a mounting attack, like we're doing now. So it will cause him to drop his item wherever that happens to be. This is just a rock mainly. Although he's looking for a
stabbing his face.
Stabbing the crap out of him. A little triple strike. Unlike the hammer, this one is sort of timing based. I've read online that you can actually get more than 3 strikes if you like time it properly. I've never really, not really had much luck with that. But we've broken his plumage.
Aww.
Broken some other things too. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What else is there?
I think you broke his other plumage, like his arm plumage. I think that's a thing you can do.
Also, as you notice, you can go into a backstep every single time. I did realize that I should sharpen my weapon.
Yeah, it was in red.
I'll let him go, but it's all right. There's plenty of more scatter nuts on the ground here, so that's right. We'll come back to that guy. As mentioned, the scatter nuts great for taking out Vespoids.
They're right, because it does them in groups.
Yep. No reason to have the entomology skill is it's not useless, because if you really just want to just smack a bunch of the Vespoids and other bug small monsters, like,
right?
Sometimes you just don't want to deal with it, but there are ways to get around it. Like a lot of things in this game, there's like another way. You don't Monster have food to... will actually need for some special armor, so that's good. That's like their rare drop, so to speak.
Right, and when you break parts on a monster, there's a chance a monster material will pop off of them. So
a little shiny.
Yeah. I maybe impulsively put myself into greater danger to grab them as soon as they appear. That might be a thing I do.
That's reasonable, because it is shiny.
Yes.
Let's get some more scatter nets. All right, we're full up on scatter nets.
All right, time to go beat up that Kuluyaku some more.
Might as well just get some more.
It's on the way. Do you mean to fall off there?
Yeah, I did. I realized that I was like, well, I do spend most of the time going to the top. If I go through the bottom, I can just click on these so that they add to the map, and then you know that way the next time here they'll just be there. Although, I mean, at this point, I pretty much know where I want to go for items. There's still occasionally where I'm like, I don't know where this, like, mushroom colonies specifically, there'll be like a quest where it's like, get a bunch of mushrooms. And it's much easier to just know where they are. Got them both.
Hey! That's still 2 shots for 2 bugs. So that's still like 100% accuracy, right?
Yep. That's what that means.
Yep.
That's how math works.
So
you can see that our scatter net is still equipped. We did not drop them.
So the you can only break like the body on the Kuluyaku. You can't smack its tail off, right?
Yeah, I don't think the actual tail comes off on this guy. Okay. So a fun trick for Sword and Shield is that you can go into the backstep from neutral if you do it from a block. So normally you have to pull back on, so it's like back and circle button, but you can do it from a standstill if you block first. So you R2 to block, and then you can pull back and go right into the backstep, which is good.
And as
Let's see the other way to get rid of his stupid rock.
Yeah.
Boop.
And then he drops it.
Scatter nut is a guaranteed stagger, and in this case, the stagger will make him drop his stupid thing. Oh, he's next to a little Yeah, he's next to it. It's not quite the hammer, but lots of free mounting damage, so we can get that second mounting attack.
Just keep stabbing his face. It's more brutal because he's smaller.
Yeah, that's true. Also, he's drooling now, so he's tired.
Yeah.
It's knocked over.
His EKG is low. Are you gonna capture him? No. You're just gonna murder.
I don't have stuff for capturing yet. We'll work on getting capture materials.
Right.
We'll just keep doing the shield bash. It's so good.
Yes.
He's limping.
Yeah, we could capture him now.
Or we can scatter nut him.
And then just murder.
To deny. Oh, he's so sad. This particular state is exhausted, so their staminas run out, so they're just like drooling and don't move a lot. That's lots of monsters have that state, and they can temporarily get out of it if they're enraged. There's some other peculiarities, but for the most part, if you see the drool, it means that it doesn't necessarily mean they're almost dead, but it is most likely they're almost dead if they're at that point. He's trying to run again. Got one more scatter nut.
And now he's done running.
Slice.
Nope. And there
Denied.
he goes.
Well done steak to restore it to max.
Thank you, handler. Thank you, handler.
Nice job hunting the Kuluyaku.
She's trying to be
Select
helpful.
a stair up
Trying to
in
be
the
helpful.
map so we can
It's
go
like,
home.
I get it. I know what I'm about. I'm about chasing down that Kulu. Look at those Kulu scales.
What is she saying is too dangerous? The Anjanath?
Yes, it's because the Anjanath is just to the north a little bit. So it's like, oh, don't fight that. Again, good advice. But,
Yeah.
I'm on
That's
this.
a
I got it.
piercing pod, a powerful type of slinger ammo. That's able to
Little
pierce the
piercing
thick
pods.
shell of monsters.
Those are the shinies that are not items.
Right. Are these
But,
special pods,
yeah,
like piercing
the special
pods.
pods will happen when they are, I don't know, there's a particular percentage, it's like 20 or 15% health left. There's probably a guide somewhere that has the exact numbers, but yeah, those piercing pods are the same as, actually, I wonder what they are the same as. It's like a piercing 1 or a piercing 2 shot from like a bow
I think
gun.
it's a piercing 2,
Piercing 2?
but I'm not 100% certain.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to know. Well, it has the effect of a piercing shot, so it'll go through and do multiple hits, and it can also stun. It doesn't have a guaranteed stun like Scatternut, but it's free damage that you can kind of just throw back at the monster. It's also a good indication that they're almost
Your
dead.
wildlife map keeps track
Right.
of where you
I was
are
running
and
around
where
in circles
the
for just a
scout
little bit
flies are
because
taking
I was looking
you.
for
You
the
can also use it
other
to keep tabs
mushroom
on
colony.
monsters.
But I realize now that the other mushroom colony only appears when it's a mushroom upsurge, I think.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes you'll go out and it'll say like, oh, there's more mining points. Oh, there's more mushroom points, which means that those points will either, I think that means that there's more of them, or the ones that are there will sometimes be sparkling, which means they'll have a higher chance to give you multiple items at once.
Right.
Which you can stack with, some gathering abilities to get even more things, to make your gathering trips more efficient.
Yep.
Especially since we don't have the Botanical Research Center to do farming just yet.
Don't let me down.
And now you have an extra camp in the ancient forest.
Yeah, we've got the Northeast Camp. Mm-hmm. That's just to introduce you to the concept. We can actually find other camps
Just for you.
as side quests, which is good because there are very good locations
Right.
that you can just warp around to.
And the provisions manager is talking about
Come back
mega
soon.
potions and how important they are. So you have a quest to give
Just
one,
a single one. Yeah,
and you
just
have
one.
52.
I have plenty. Most of that is because of like the day one bonus or like the Steam release
Right.
bonus.
Right,
Which,
right.
That's fine. I just turn it in. We also turned in the fish, which we did for the Piscean researcher. We turned in the Terex, which we did for the endemic life researcher. More ingredients go into the chef. More ingredients means better quality food, which means better bonuses, higher percent chance for special bonuses, more health, more damage, etc., etc.
Right.
It's
And you
all- it all
completed
goes into
all
the
the
same
bounties.
cycle. Yeah, look at all them. Do them all. Do them all.
All the
It's
all
nice to hear
these
just
resource
that
points
puzzle.
and you can
The limited bounty is it's like the weekly. So those are, well, except for special occasions where they'll be daily, but those are the weekly ones.
Right.
So
And-
those, and it's online only. So
right. And
you don't
those are
have to be online, but to get them you have to be online. So you kind of have to be online, but
right. And those are question marks because they're for things you can't do yet.
yes, which is nice that it doesn't just spoil all of the future monsters, since that's part of the fun of the game is
Right.
seeing a new monster for the first time. So we have no ability to actually complete the weeklies at this point, which, yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
Let's talk to the Linian researcher. The Linian.
And you could have spoken to him out in the expedition, but you're
That's true.
speaking to him now.
Try and like more evenly distribute the conversations here.
Right.
The lingua franca. Learn the lingua franca. Yes, he's very interested in, as that extremely stupid pun suggests, learning the language of the Grimmelkinds. So, his side quests will be ambassadors to kitty tribes.
Yes. And they're almost all fun quests.
Yes, there are some that are not, but there are ways to make them trivial, if not interesting.
Right.
And those will also power up our cat, basically. The Palico levels up a little bit more like a traditional RPG character, where its level increases and its efficacy kind of goes up. I don't really know what the level does.
HP and damage.
I guess it's just HP, but maybe it is damage too, because you can also the equipment also gives it higher damage and different damage.
Well, it
types.
says it when it levels up, what it does.
Okay. So that's just a thing that will just happen. So you don't have to worry about it too much. This
That's
is Vespoid armor. It's
armor.
very nice.
Pretty cool looking.
Like we don't really need any of that. The Honey Hunter, that could be very useful. It just means you get double hunting. Well, you get one more honey for each time.
Right.
So we'll put that on our list. Definitely want to make one of those.
Right.
Put it in our gathering set.
I think it has a really cool looking peplum, the Vespoid set, but
That's true.
yeah. And there's the
There's a
Kuluyaku set.
Another great set.
The arms are very useful.
Very useful. We will be making the arms for sure. Mm-hmm. The arms give you Pro Transporter, which is useful for a very specific type of optional quest, which is another Monster Hunter thing, which is carry large object to a place.
Right.
Except you move slow unless you have Pro Transporter.
Right. They did make it to where it was a little bit. There are a couple more instances than the traditional Monster Hunter usage of it, but it's still just carry heavy thing.
It's just like a legacy thing at this point. It's like, okay, I guess it was in the other game, so it's in this one too. Let's look at the cool set. It's got a little guitar,
mustache and a lute.
or like not a guitar specifically, but
It's a little loot.
yeah, a little loot. We will make the hat, and it does come with
The mustache.
fake mustache. So
It's right there. It's just
It's perfect.
mustache is just right there. Oh, the kid is so cute.
I haven't actually been focusing on it too much, but there is some amusing flavor text for like all of the pieces of armor, especially for the Palico armor. I'll maybe focus on that on some of the more unusual Palico armors.
Right.
I was like, I want to go to my room. Why don't this stupid cat let me? That's not the. I was like, oh right, this is. We don't have access to the private quarters
Right.
yet.
You still live
It's been
in
so long.
communal living.
Yes, we're on the bottom floor, literally. So there's my room.
There's
Okay.
your room. Are you gonna put some pets out?
Maybe.
Well, first you're gonna talk to Esleon.
Nah, that's all right.
No,
We
you're
don't
just
really
gonna-
have anything to talk to the Palico about right now. But we can talk to this kitty about some pets, which I've been collecting diligently. It's very important. Place your pets from the menu. Does suggest maybe don't put a dung beetle out for the sake of your roommates.
I super
He's
did.
not my real dad, so
Yep. Claiming your add-on content.
this as an aside, this is also where you get your add-on stuff. So the classic gestures is actually free DLC. You just have to. It's very awkward. You have to go to the storefront and buy it, even though it's free. That kind of thing. But those are like, those are the dances are very good. The samurai set is a layered armor, so that's like transmog, and that's for pre-order bonus. We'll deal with the transmog later. Let's look at pets.
Yes.
Right now we can just put one pet out. We will improve that.
Oh,
There's
there are the
little ants
carrier
crawling.
ants. That's not okay.
Those ants are gigantic.
That's so not okay. You're just gonna leave a paratoad out?
Yeah, we'll leave the paratoad out.
Yeah, I accidentally nudge him as I'm walking towards my bed, and, well, I'm stunned and paralyzed and shaking on the ground. Great.
So whenever you sit on your bed, you will do one of two animations. You'll either throw food out, or you'll sort of beckon your pet. And all the pets pretty much have a different interaction. It's kind of great.
I didn't know this.
So you'll just actually pet your little parrot, which is great. And the Paratoad's animation is, you might expect what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The only thing that would make this better is if you actually were paralyzed with the paralysis effect.
Right, he just kind of fell off the bed. Yeah, that would be great.
And it just goes back to minding his own business.
Yeah.
Eventually you'll throw food out, he'll come back. This is the rest of the video.
I figured that it was. Oh, man. I didn't know that...
You can get some specials. So there's some special animations for... Not for everything, because not everything will move forward towards you. But there's a lot of things. So that's pretty cool. That's neat. I do like the pets a lot. It's a little thing, but... It's just
a little
lot,
thing
there's a
done
lot of
well.
care. Yes, a lot of care put into this thing that doesn't really matter, in quotes. Not like it doesn't really matter. It's not like part of the... the loop of getting higher numbers or anything like that. But it is an awesome side activity that, just those little things, they matter in the long run for, overall impression.
Right.
And as you might imagine, as I had mentioned before, I really like this game a lot. And a lot of these little things contribute to that feeling. So
Yes.
on the next episode, we will actually go fight the Puke Puke next time. So that's a little preview. We saw him briefly. His little chameleon eyes going all crazy and spitting up poison.
Yeah, because his eyes were the thing you noticed. Not the freaky tongue, not the spit, not the venom vomit.
Little chameleon eyes.
Yeah, that's
face in different directions. Little chameleon eyes. But it will be the first episode that we're going to try and get some co-op in.
Right.
So it's opened up enough that it's reasonable to actually do some co-op. So we'll get some co-op Palico action. Get that multiplayer experience.
Yeah. Which is really good in this game. It's really good. So if you like the content that we make, feel free to go to our Patreon. It's where you can pledge to give so much money per month. That money is how we're able to do this, both from a buying equipment we need standpoint, as well as hey, we can buy the time, quote unquote, for the week so that we can do it. And if you can't do the Patreon thing, you can do a one-time tip through PayPal. Don't want to do that, do the like, comment, subscribe thing, or just tell people about the channel.
Monster